Animation is a varied and beautiful artistic medium, and one that I've been a passionate admirer of for my entire life. Today's world has plenty of animation fans of all ages, but there are unfortunately still many people who don't value it as much as it deserves to be. In this video, I wanted to touch on the misunderstandings about animated media and what could be done to rectify those viewpoints. One thing in particular is the common misconception that animation is a genre rather than a medium, and lumping all animated media together as if it were all the same genre. It doesn't make sense to compare multiple things of the same medium but different genres in such a way. You wouldn't try to do the same to two live-action films of different genres just because they're both live-action. Genres can combine in animation as they would in any other art form, but that still doesn't make animation itself a genre. Another common misconception is the idea that animation is made just for kids outside of actual adult animation. This may have been somewhat accurate in the past, from the animated shorts of the early to mid-20th century, to cartoons made in the 1980s with the primary purpose of generating toy sales. Ever since at least the end of that era, however, creators have had the chance to develop shows with more of a central focus on the artistic vision before anything else. Some shows are made specifically for preschoolers, but all others that are not made only for adults are more often than not made for all ages to enjoy. There seems to be a pervasive notion in our society that once a person becomes an adult, they can't or shouldn't enjoy things the same way they did as a kid, or even enjoy the same kind of things that they did when they were a kid. Some adults simply prefer the content of shows made for all ages rather than that of shows made for adults for a variety of reasons, all valid. Shows made for all ages are marketed as family for a reason. Every member of a family of every age can enjoy them. These shows are, after all, made by adults, and it's important to create things that you would yourself enjoy, not just your past child self, but present adult self. It also needs to be said that those who view animated content as inferior, mainly because they believe that it is only for kids, are being insulting towards not only animation, but also kids, as they believe that the thing that they relegate to kids is inferior for that reason. There's also the sad reality that animation is not always taken seriously as an art form. Animation is difficult to make at every stage of the process, so by default it has a lot of heart put into it by everyone involved. Despite this, it often very arbitrarily won't be held in as high regard as live-action media. Animated films don't tend to appear as Oscar nominees in any category besides Best Animated Feature, for example, and the members of the Academy have openly stated on multiple occasions that they only ever see animated films at the request of younger family members who want to see it with them. Writers for animated shows don't get paid as much as writers of live-action shows despite doing the same work. In the worst-case scenario, this kind of disregard leads to events such as HBO Max discarding multiple animated shows from the streaming service when its parent company merged with another, an action that was largely done for the purpose of a tax write-off. Encouragingly, however, even people who wouldn't consider themselves animation fans have expressed outrage over this decision, and rightfully so. Still, whenever things must be cut, animation is usually the first to be chosen. Animation is not disposable. I still don't get how someone could believe that an all-ages animated series is not worth their time to consume, nor the money and resources it takes to produce it. All any of us can hope is that attitudes shift, and more people will give animation a chance and pay it the admiration and appreciation that it has well earned. So what do you think? In what ways do you believe animation deserves more appreciation, and how can we get people to see that? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching this video. I make content on all sorts of media on this channel, so don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to see that. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.